Okay, in today's video, I'm dropping my definitive Straw Hat tier list. I'm telling you how I feel about every single Straw Hat that has joined the crew from the starter series all the way to where we are in Egghead, the anime, and the manga arc. I won't say the manga arc in the opening because that's kind of spoilers. But let me know if you want more. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, of course, if you want more. I'm about to hit 100 subs. By the time you see this video, I might have already hit 100 subs. So thank you. I'm going to keep going, keep making videos. I appreciate anybody that subscribed and stuck around and liked the video. But without further ado, let's get into the Straw Hat tier list. Aggressive. Anyways, what's up? I'm doing a Straw Hat tier list because I feel like this is going to be really short and really easy to make while I work on other videos. So yeah, let's get started. Our main character, Luffy. Luffy's S tier, bro. Luffy has what no other MC has. He's creativity, which I mean, other MCs have that, but that's not what I was talking about at first. Luffy has the aspect of like understanding somebody without even knowing too much about them. Look at Nami. Everybody on Arlong Park is telling them Nami's a traitor. She's a backstabber. She's not actually with your crew. She doesn't like you. Even Nami herself says, I don't really like you. Luffy said, really? This guy. You think I don't know who you are? I know exactly who you are. All you gotta do is tell me what you truly want, and I'm gonna go spin for you. That's who Luffy is. If you're not living in your truth, Luffy will enlighten you and force you to live in your truth. And your truth is most likely the best thing for you. So Luffy will pull up on you. He'll hear you say whatever goofy stuff comes out your mouth because you don't want him to get hurt. And he'll be like, all right, you done? You done yet? No? Okay, wait. I'll wait a little bit longer. Oh, you done? So can I spin that? Are we good? Are we good? Like what's wrong? What's really the problem? Oh, you want to live? All right, I'll go beat them up. Oh, you want to go take care of your peoples, even though you don't really like them and they traumatize you, but you still got to do the wedding? All right, we can go do that. Are they making fun of you because you just want to be a brave warrior? I'm gonna go spin on them too. Like, that's who Luffy is. Luffy is tough. He's him. Also, he's funny. He's funny, goofy, and I like his creativity with his power system. Most MCs have like the inner demon or like something else, like some kind of genetic that pushes them all the way to the top. Whereas we don't get that reveal for Luffy until he's fighting the top tiers. It's like Luffy actually had to work for his moment, if that makes sense. Like everything that they call plot armor for other MCs, like Naruto's Kurama, Ichigo being a hollow, Luffy doesn't get that until he fights the top tiers. So we're already 1,000 episodes into the series, and you really can't say a lot of plot armor about Luffy, besides the fact that he's made of rubber, I guess, which is kind of stupid. But once you get to that fight, that top tier, and Luffy finally unlocks this thing that, mind you, is explaining that you have to be strong enough, and your body has to, like your mind has to consciously resonate with your powers to awaken that ability that he's awakened. It's peak. Luffy finally gets that power up. Next is Zoro, first mate. My opinions on Zoro is he had backstory at first, and he had some good character moments at first, but he's kind of just been benched to right hand fight second strongest guy, while not saying that much type of character. So he's like bottom of A, maybe top of B. There's really not a lot to him. He's just, my friend fell downstairs, died, so I'm gonna be the strongest. And then I'm gonna have some cool character moments of loyalty, but not actually have any story in the main story. And I'm just always gonna fight the second strongest person. Yeah, that's my guy. That's pretty much it. That's how it's Zoro. But he's fine. He's top of B, bottom of A. Nami is also comfortably B tier. How do I explain how I feel about Nami? Nami is she's in a weird spot because I know there's a majority of the fan base, or not majority, there's a split of the fan base that don't like her, thinking she's just eye candy, and I'll touch on that. And there's another half where she's never been eye candy. And to my statement is she's always been both. She's always been the eye candy of the series. But she's also the navigator. 90% of the places we go, we couldn't go without her. And she's actually really useful. And I do kind of like her as a person. She's funny when she has her moments. All the Straw Hats are kind of funny with their respective moments. But hers are a little more funnier than most, where she, like, every time money's involved, her eyes actually join the money signs. I think that's funny. So that's how I feel about Nami. Usopp. Usopp goes D tier. I can't lie. I don't like Usopp. I know a majority of people don't like Usopp, and there's some people that do. Hey, if you do, power to you. I don't know how you can do it. I can't lie. Notice there's not an F tier on this tier list because there's no actually bad Straw Hat. Like, there's no, how do I put this? The Straw Hats, in terms of character, if you give a B tier to a Straw Hat, he might end up being like an A or S tier in another series. That's how I hold One Piece to that standard. So, with that being said, Usopp is in D tier. That would probably put him like a C or B tier in other series, but here he's a D tier. I don't like how he's always been weak. I know that's like his character trait, and it works in Thriller Bark very well, but it doesn't. He has observation hockey, hasn't used it since he got it. His Water 7 moment, I don't really want to touch on that. I don't really care. Like, I like the fight, I like what it meant, and it did almost get me to cry. I got close. Mind you, I read/watched that at like 2 a.m. So emotions are very high at those times. But it did get me kind of close, and I was like, dang, we splitting up with the crew. I mean, I know Usopp was kind of useless. I mean, at that point, he wasn't really useless because he was kind of our shipwright. Even though he wasn't the best at it, he was kind of our shipwright. But he's D tier, bro. He's just there to have a fun time with Luffy and party. That's really it. Sanji is a weird character. And maybe not weird in the sense of that, like, he's actually weird. I mean, he kind of is. But my problem with Sanji is if he was like a Brock from Pokemon, where, if you don't know, Brock has this thing where he flirts with any female character he sees that he thinks is attractive, but then quickly, like, I'm talking about a minute within him speaking, someone will snap him out of it, like by jabbing him in the back or like pulling him away. And that's kind of funny, especially if you're a kid. That's really funny because you're just seeing a guy flirt with a girl and then being dragged away by one of the homies. But Sanji doesn't have that. He started out like that. He started out with his, heart eye gimmick, and I was like, okay, he might be a Brock from Pokemon. He might be strong, but he also is going to flirt, and someone's going to stop the moment. But then we get to Thriller Bark. Sanji's true motive was to get a certain power that would make him invisible so he can look at women while they have no clothes on. That's Sanji for you, folks. And he also gets married to a 16-year-old. That's Sanji for you, folks. And he also spies on his own crewmates while invisible. That's Sanji for you, folks. So with all that being said, he's in C tier. I can't, like, his backstory, both of them were cool. I don't necessarily like him anymore. I like watching his fight scenes because I like his fighting style. But okay, Thunder, my fault. Like, OKC, my fault, bro. Like, dang, bro, what did I do? I don't know if y'all actually heard that in the mic, to be fair. We'll see. But Sanji, he's okay. He's like, his perverted moments, I think, have gone too far to the point that I'm just like, I don't care anymore. His character could do whatever now, and I can't be bothered. It's almost like he's forgot, like, we haven't heard him talk about or mention or think about the All Blue in like 1,000 chapters. I promise you, I don't think that's his goal anymore. Chopper, obviously this is in order from the crewmates that we get. Chopper is a B tier. I'm actually gonna move Zoro up to the bottom of A. Chopper's a B tier character. We needed a doctor, so we got a doctor. I like his backstory, his whole motivation. I like his usage in Thriller Bark and in Enies Lobby, where he's like, Enies Lobby especially, where he's like, shit, I'll become a monster if I need to for the game. But then after that, it's just like, that monster point doesn't even do much anymore. I know the characters are stronger, but it just doesn't do much anymore. It doesn't have the intimidation factor either because Chopper's in control. And Chopper's really just used as like the, what's the word? The mascot of the series. He's just like the Pikachu of this series. It's like, and even then, at least in Pokemon anime, Pikachu was top 1 because he's a mascot. Chopper is not even really that strong. So I mean, it's whatever. He's cool though. He's in the middle. He's a B tier character. So I mean, hey. Robin is S tier. Robin, her whole character arc, her motivations of betraying the Straw Hats, even though it wasn't a full betrayal because she actually ended up liking them, but knew they would get in danger with just being around her, to revealing that in her truth, like Luffy does everything, like Luffy puts everybody in their truths. She wanted to live the whole time. She wanted to be granted the will to live. And then now, in the series, she'll actually rather die for her crew than just being able to, like, it's such a full circle moment with her every single time. And she's just great. Sure, she doesn't do too much. Like, her most recent fight was in Wano, and we're 2 arcs away from Wano now. But still, even then, Robin's S tier. You can't. Her story, character moments, and especially the little things that like Robin has so many little details in the series. One of them that's my personal favorite is that when she first joins the crew, she doesn't call anybody by their name. She calls Luffy Captain, Zoro Swordsman, Nami Navigator, Usopp Longnose, Sanji Cook. Like, she doesn't call any of them by their names. Once they save her from Enies Lobby, she doesn't call them anything else but their names and shows nothing but respect for them. It's an amazing moment. Frankie is he's D tier as well. My least favorite Straw Hat personally. Frankie's yeah. I don't even, thing is, I never even disliked Frankie the way I do now. Frankie when he first joined was okay. I didn't like his perverted gimmick that he has, and he still has. I thought he was cool in Thriller Bark. I can't even lie. I like his attitude, and one thing I do like about Frankie is he's kind of funny in a way, even though he's not actually trying to be funny, but he's kind of funny in a way because he'll see like Luffy or Zoro getting beat up in a fight. He'll catch them midway through the fight, or like see them side by side and be like, "Hey, bro, you need help, bro? You know, I could run some rounds. I could throw some hands." And if I was Luffy and Zoro, I'd give him the meanest side eye because Luffy was fighting Lucci at that time, and Zoro was fighting King. I'd give him the meanest side eye and be like, "Do you even know how to use hockey, bro? You even know what a Gear 2 is, bro? What are you talking about? Shut up. Go do something else." Like, those are some of the funniest Frankie moments. But the reason I don't like him is, again, perverted gimmicks not for me. His character's never really been for me. I don't really like mecha or like robotic things too much. And he just hasn't done much to make me go higher, lower. Like, he's that guy that's there, radical beam, and then he's gone. That's literally Frankie's character. I can't lie. I just don't. I think I do like him more than Usopp, though. Usopp might actually be my least favorite Straw Hat, because I generally dislike Usopp, whereas I don't dislike Frankie. I just don't have any positives for him. Actually, I do kind of dislike Frankie. Anyways. Brook has risen from the C tier pit that he was in to like A tier. I don't know why I had Brook so low at one point in time, but when Brook first joined the crew, I didn't really have that much of a thought for him, I can't lie. Because he said he was a swordsman and a musician. I was like, we already have Zoro. Zoro's kind of proving himself as a swordsman. And then as a musician, I was like, cool, but that's not necessary. It's something cool that Luffy wanted, so sure, he's fine to join. But this man is the most clutch Straw Hat ever. Everything in Whole Cake, from breaking Big Mom's picture, like her mother's picture, to stealing the poneglyph to fighting Big Mom just because he didn't want Sanji to feel super terrible in case they don't bring him back, they at least get something out of it. To even currently, manga spoilers, currently, I'm not gonna say too much though, but currently he has another moment where he's talking crazy to another person that's presumably stronger than him. Brook's moments have just never been bad. I think I wasn't realizing it because I wasn't ready for like another perverted gimmick. He joined and he kept talking about he wanted to see panties, bro. I was just like, not another Sanji, bro, please. Especially with the lows I was feeling with Sanji that arc, I was like, please, bro. But then his gimmick of wanting to see panties actually doesn't even, at least me personally, from what I've seen and mostly remembered, it doesn't go past the gimmick. Like it isn't his whole character. His character is more focused on skeleton jokes and his laugh and the afro. Whereas Sanji's whole character has literally just become, I like women, I fight third strongest on the crew. And I make women uncomfortable. Like, this is literally just Sanji in a nutshell. Whereas Brook has some leeway because at least one of the women entertained him. And, also, thanks to Oda's weirdness, half the women in the show don't even wear anything but underwear, so he already wins anyways. Jimbe, the most recent Straw Hat. Jimbe is also ignore these guys. I'm not putting them on the list. They're not actually Straw Hats yet. They're just here because it's the first tier list I found. Okay, Jimbe is also A tier, which means I can put Zoro back in B tier. Now Jimbe is not stronger than him. Not actually, 90% of the things above Zoro aren't stronger than Zoro. But this ain't a strength tier list. This is a character's I like tier list. And I like Jinbe's moments more than I like Zoro's moments. I like Nothing Happens more with Zoro, but I also compared Nothing Happens to Jimbe waking Luffy up out of his slump. And I'm like, okay, they both did crazy things for Luffy. Also, Jimbe took magma in the chest for Luffy. So they both have those moments for Luffy. Whereas also Jimbe has the whole what's it called? Dang, what's the word? The Yonko scene where he's like, I can't serve under Yonko if I can rock with the future Pirate King. Why would I do that? Do you know who I am? Plus he was a warlord. His whole moments with Ace, where him and Ace was going back and forth because he respected Whitebeard too much, and he was like, I can't just let some random pull up on somebody I respect. Although Jimbe has kind of resorted recently to like the respectable fireman on the crew, like he just puts out fires with water. I still think he's the war veteran that we need on this crew. And he's also, Zoro's high B low A, Jimbe's just low A period. So he would definitely be like, it still would be above Zoro if not left from an A. But I think this is the tier list. I think Luffy, Robin, Brook, Jimbe, Zoro, Nami, Chopper, Sanji, Frankie, and Usopp is the correct tier list for me. Although Frankie and Usopp are kind of switched, I just can't really think of any reason to hate Frankie more than Usopp right now, so I have them swapped. But you could put them either or. Sanji's in a tier by himself because again, he actually, whereas Chopper had his moments that brought him up and he's kind of been stuck at a certain point, and same for Nami. Sanji was up and then got brought down and keeps getting brought down by having his gimmick. And more of his gimmick is not even really becoming a gimmick. It's just becoming a character at this point. And it's even worse than the anime. I know Sanji fans hate Toei right now, which I think is stupid because they can't have an agenda against a character when they have to listen to Oda. That doesn't make sense. And even then, I know that's not actually fully how animation works, but that's how these animation in these guys' heads works because they also think the budget makes the quality of the anime. So, hey. Anyways, I'm not going to rant too much. That food was good. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know whether the tier list you want to see. I have a One Piece Arcs tier list coming up. I actually recorded that one before this one, but that one's taking a little too long to edit from what I wanted. I wanted it to drop today when I'm recording this tier list, but obviously it didn't. So I'm doing this one, and this one should be a little shorter. But please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. Let me know any other tier list or anything else I should really talk about, anime, cartoon, or manga wise. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in another video.